So good morning. So let's begin our session about what is this is DevOps and the related terms and how the career path move on this DevOps arena and all that. So before that, it we have to make some ground rule and things like how will we going to initiate the nodes and there is some kind of assignments also. And I would definitely would like to know from all of you whether we have to go a theoretical kind of things or whether we have prefer to go like a production kind of thing, like how the actual production work and how we are doing the things in the actual production that way. Okay. So, as I said, few topics are not negotiable. If you are in IT, you have to at least know about these things. And these are the only things that is also very much important for our SRE, DevOps, platform engineer, cloud engineer, DevOps architect, and like whatever CI/CD, automation engineers, these all things. So, the very first, we will be going to cover how the DevOps word like get a limelight or spotlight in these coming few years. So as I was saying, like DevOps, something not in last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The very first when the first application get deployed and the first operation guy get in those deployment get involved in those employment. Somebody made some application and somebody said, hey, call somebody who will be going to deploy it in any machine, that machine called server. And it will be the server is not for the end user. The term server is like server is also a PC, but the high end PC in a layman language. And normal my laptop is a laptop, but it is not that high end kind of machine. So in a layman language, server is something a very high-end machine, and my PC is not that much. And then the second thing, the server is something not used by end user, and where the end user is sitting, or that we calling it personal PCs, personal laptop, personal desktop, tabs, mobile device. These are called. So server is something not for end user. This is something for a person who have a special skill set, a specialization in something. Those guys are supposed to be handle those machine. So when the developer created some application and he requested somebody else to deploy it for the end user. So here the three parties involved. First, developer. Second, a person who is having expertise to install it somewhere. And the third, who will be going to consume it, who will be going to use it, that application. So that point of a time, these three-person, more about the two-person dev internal kind. If we talk about the internally, so internally the application developer and the person who is going to deploy, they need to coordinate with each other, because the person who is going to deploy it, he need to understand what type of the application it is. So what type of the machine you need it, what type of the configuration, how much like CPU RAM you need it. So accordingly he will be like first going to arrange those kind of machine and then going to deploy it. So that coordination is actually called a DevOps. So that point of time, we do not have an actual word that we will be like it's not calling as a DevOps. But in coming slide, we will be going to see that when was the first time this DevOps word used, and in a pictures, and in last 5 to 6 years, how it is going to be a very much like kind of boom, and it's considered as a job title. So the very first we will be going to see that, and then second we will be going to understand what is DevOps and what is related job roles after, and the third one is beyond DevOps. Today you guys are joining, like few years back somebody joined as a testing, somebody joined as a system admin, somebody joined as a SRE, and it's going to be 4 year, 5 year, 6 year in that role. But what after that? Do I still for coming 20, 25 or 30 years, or like 35, 40 years, whatever the duration you will going to do this job, you will be keep yourself as a SRE or a like platform engineer or a cloud engineer? Or is that anything like after this, once in a 3 or 4 or 5 year, when I am get stable on this particular role, what will be the next? So that also we will be going to touch down. And this DevOps, this application developer, this QA testing, this network testing, security testing, these all for what? This is for some kind of application that is going to be developed and deployed for the end user. So those applications are sometimes called websites, sometimes called web applications. So we will be going to first see that what is the basic difference between website and a web application. And then we will be going to understand what is the web status code. Like if some website is not working, if somebody not from the IT background and get encountered with me and he said like, hey, my website is not working, that is understandable. Lekin if somebody is saying he is working in the IT one and then he is saying the website is not working, or if I have to create a ticket for a different team, for the networking team or for a developer or for the server admin or somebody, and I said website is not working, that is not expected, because now you have some expertise in the same playground. So you have to be first understand if the website is not working, might be you are not having the expertise to resolve that error, but you already have the expertise to understand why not working. And the every error, if that application is written in a way to handle the error or the exception, so that application, if not able to resolve that error itself, then still it will give you the reason why I am down, why I am not working. So those status codes. Then what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? Because that will be a very much required and very much needed. And how this HTTPS, everybody will say assign some SSL certificate, some certificates. So those SSL certificates are called SSL certificates. So how this SSL certificate work on an initial level, whenever you will go for any kind of interview in a SRE or in a DevOps related role, most of the frequent question are how the SSL handshakes are happen, how one DNS name get that is called name resolution, DNS name resolutions. These things, how if my website is not working, how you will be going to troubleshoot it, or some most of the time you will get a very like common scenario. In that scenario, they will give you and your teammate sitting in an office, and the client is sitting somewhere. The client is basically, whenever somebody is saying client, that means he is out of that network in a public internet. So on your colleague machine, that website is working. On a client machine, that website is working, but on your machine, the website is not working. So just note it down this for next session. You guys will be going to find it out, the solution for it, and then let me know. And I will tell you this is something related to DNS name resolution. And keep the things like, it's good to ask uh, the like question to the interviewer, but whenever the interviewer giving you some scenario, keep focus on the words. When somebody is saying client, that means it's a public internet. When somebody is saying you and your colleague working and sitting, so that's mean you both are in the same network. So if you say my or if you have any these kind of question or queries in your mind, that is in, might be they have a different kind of laptop configuration, network configuration, or they are in a different network zone, and the so when say you and your colleague sitting in the office, that's mean you both are in a same network. You both are in a same VPN. You both are having the office provided laptop. So the configuration and the firewall settings are same. So you have to keep in mind and let me know the answer in the next session. And then we will going to touch down the common network protocols like every communication that is happening over the internet. like as we say HTTP, HTTPS, or TCP, UDP. These are the some protocols in which protocol what is expected, what is not expected. That we will going to touch down. Then the ports. Ports are basically like we will talk like in a single room we have a door, windows, there and few working desks. So in a single room, we have a different kind of things that is supposed to be work for differently, like windows to see outside, to get window air. The doors is something designed to go outside. So in a, that way, the ports are designed to communicate. I am just taking few things on a very ground level as of now. As we slowly move in this course, I will start taking the technical exact abbreviation or the jargons or the word. Right now, I am not taking those one so that the who are totally new might be a few of you are not from the networking background, so it will be like a bouncer for that for the those one and that word. So that's why I am just right now I am just taking these kind of weird example to relate those things. OSI layer is a very much important in the networking field. So we will going to touch down like what is OSI layer and how important it is. Whenever you will get a very common interview question, what type of the load balancer available in the AWS and Azure? Normally, we are saying application load balancer, network load balancer, application load balancer is working on application layer, networking load balancer is working on network layer, TCP layer. So those layers coming under this OSI layer. Compliance and regulation, that is also very much important. You are working in a SRE DevOps, and you will very soon going to get the admin access. So every access and every permission is coming with some kind of accountability and the responsibility. So you have to be aware about it, what is allowed, what is not allowed. So if you somebody is said like he is located in the, so you can note down this one as well, and you will or might be I will disclose the answer. Somebody is seated in the Singapore and he would like to start his business, and that business is related to, and that business is actually going to be keep some client information, PII. Okay, so PII is basically, let me say it's a personal information, personal identification information. Might be your phone number, might be any kind of your any election card, driving license, any kind of identification that will disclose your identity. So that is actually a PII. So that type of the information is coming is going to be saved in the servers. Now the scenario is the person is located somewhere in Asia. He is going to start the business, and the business will going to keep the personal information. Where I have to deploy the server in Asia, in Europe, in US, where just type the answer in the chat box. Go ahead, everyone. We are not right now like looking for correct, incorrect. If somebody is from for example, we will be taking the example for Singapore. He is like, I am from the Singapore, I am going to start a new business, and that business is something that is also going to save the information, personal information like identification information on the server. Now where like as we learn in the cloud things, and we have flexibility to create the server in Europe, create the just select the drop down Singapore, Europe, US, North Virginia, Ohio, or anywhere I can create that server. So in that case, when I am located in the Singapore, I am going to start a business, and that business is also going to be save the information of the person or the public who is basically from the Europe region. So where I have to create that? Do I have flexibility to create anywhere, or I have any kind of restriction? So I was saying, I am in Singapore region. I am going to start a new business, and that business or this business is basically the online one, and I have requirement to create my server. So and that might be having a customers or from the user from the Europe region as well, and I will be going to say personal informations as well. So in which geographical region I have to create my machine. Right now, I'm not going with any kind of architectural or any kind of thing. The basic requirement, I am a businessman. If I am contacting you and I am saying, hey, Swapnil, I have to create a website that will be a global one that will be save the information from anywhere in the world. And that is also supposed to be saving the information from the European region as well. And these all information might include the personal information like credit card information as well might be included. So, where you will suggest me to create servers? I shared my requirement. Now you are the like the guy who will be going to create a machine. So I just walk in your office and I said, hey, I need to create this kind of the business. So you have the opportunity to grab that walk. So let me disclose the answer for this one. That is comes under the compliance one. So the answer is not always near to the target user. Answer is always not like where the business owner or the founder is basically located. Performance is not always the key or the one parameter on which I can decide where I can create my data center. They are deciding the data center where I have to keep and create my data center. That's depend upon the so many different factors. And before performance, before cost is also one of the factor. Before cost, before performance, before security, actually the security is comes under the compliance. So the very first comes the compliance is said local laws. So for which data I am also looking to keep the data from the Europe. So the European have one compliance regulation that is called GDPR. In the same way, we will in the last slide we will later classes we will see there are HIPAA, IT Act. There are so many different laws like PCI for the payment gateway. So these law, the very first who will be a factor to give you in which reason and whatever the frame you will get geographical frame in that frame you have to decide where I will keep the data. So if you are a DevOps engineer, you are a SRE engineer, platform engineer, anywhere, and if you are working on a database and a developer team asks you, like I am not able to replicate a very traditional case, this one apart from this server creation. So it's not always near to the target group. It's as per the law, which data I am going to keep it inside it. That law will decide. So if some developer is asking you to give me a data to replicate in my dev environment, your developer located in India, and that data is working somewhere for the related to anyhow related to the anyone of who is in the Europe region, you cannot copy paste data out of Europe. In the same case, China, we have two kind of AWS working in the world. One is a rest of the world AWS called that is running on .com, and the China has a separate AWS that is running on a CN. So normally the China AWS is one or two versions behind of the rest of the world. In the same case, China data is also in any case not allowed to go outside of that parameter. If you going, then you are violating the or his laws. And if you get encounter and if your company get flagged, you will get a very big like penalty or huge loss. So in a last slide, we will be going to touch down those as well. So it's not always answer near to the target user. So now this comes to me about me, like what I am doing and why the visual team selected me for this course. So it's going to be 12 years of experience in this IT arena. And I have somewhere started 12 years back as a .NET developer with C Sharp language. And that point of time, I am using a database MySQL, SQL, and the Oracle one. And then later on I have a different heads, like I for the few years I work as a database administrator. Then for the few years I work the application infrastructure and the incident management. Then I was a technical consultant for like Windows, Linux, and cloud related stuffs, how the architecture which goes, those things I did. And then for a time being, in a service-based organization, I managed like on Azure environment. There I was a senior cloud operation uh, consultant, and then later, like as of now, it's like again, it's something I'm working uh, where I'm responsible for DevOps related things, writing automation in script or like deploying it, making up pipelines, maintaining it, monitoring it. Those all comes under it. And apart from that, like .NET applications, database performance. Now the database is Oracle, SQL, Mongo, Postgres. These all database performance admin part. I'm not now, since it's 8 year back when I'm working as a full-time developer. Since then, I am not working as a full-time developer. But it's still, if something like, if for example any support team or a QA team generally frequently requested to do these modifications from the back end, from the back end, and for those back end, like I'm, or there was some dependency for somebody from the my team. So for that, I am just creating a UI, or might be I'm using any low code application and I design a UI and give it to them, like use it. So that kind of a things I'm doing this. So mentorship, like how much experience I have in this mentorship and the stuff. So it's like going to be 3 years, but previously I am doing offline kind of stuffs. And apart from that, I am a part of that point of time. I am a part of AWS local user groups and this CNSCF Kubernetes local user groups. So where I'm volunteering, supporting. So in that, if college guys or if you somebody is freshly joined in IT and he want to change from this role to that role, so that part also I am helping doing a community kind of stuffs. So right now, still I'm working. This is like something a kind of hobby, or keep myself updated with whatever the happening in the world. Because a job, what happens if my organization using Ansible, so I will keep myself in the Ansible only. And it's not kind of every day I'm opening Ansible console and doing something. No, in a once in a month, might be once in a 2 month or a quarter, I will be going to check, because that already written, that is a scripted, I'm not going to trust that. So might be so for that, keep myself interacted Ansible as well as Salt Stack, Chef, Puppet, Workato. There are so many tools. So keep myself updated. So that's why I have selected the way to go for the volunteering and giving a mentorship. So that's other things. So in my free time, that is early morning, because I'm handling in a morning, my morning near about to start from 8 to 9, where at that point of time I'm handling the client from the Singapore and China region. Afterwards, in the daytime, I will be handling India, Europe, and in the evening, not late evening. As per India is the early evening, I'm handling client and client meeting from the US region. So my role is somewhere now get with the global clients and the global users. So these are the things we will be going to cover in upcoming. So the coming slides, like DevOps and a DevOps title roles, will be for the next class. What is here the first line? DevOps is a culture. So DevOps is not title, DevOps is a culture. And under the DevOps, there are one title is DevOps engineer, and this is the culture that get converted in the job title. So DevOps engineer, whose main responsibility is writing CI/CD pipe. Under the DevOps, there is a title that is site reliability engineer, whose main responsibility to ensure system reliability and uptime. Then another same DevOps culture, we have platform engineer, cloud engineer, consultant, architect. So these are the things. So that why I have written DevOps, that DevOps is basically the culture name. That is not a title. That is not a post. Because SREs also comes like evolved from that culture. As I said, this is a demo session. Suppose this demo get over, the visual team going to send out what is the content of the post, what all topics and the cases we will going to cover in coming 1 or 1.5 months. so that they will be going to share.
Naveen, you asked one question, right, regarding that Europe region, Singapore's before.
Mhm.
Say, then what is that exact answer?
Europe
Oh,
GDPR, the law saying you cannot keep the personal data of any of the person who is a citizen of any European country, European association outside of the Europe. So you don't have the choice.
yes, yes. That's we can go for that answers.
Yes.
But then, like, if you also have customers in China, what do you do then?
Then you will create another data center.
In China, they don't give other regions, right? They have some own, right?
In a China data center, firstly, their domain name that is like .com or .cn. That is a differentiator. So when you create any application that is on a .com, that is the rest of the world. If you are creating something for a .cn, that itself it's get data center get separated. So you have to build a like we have AWS account. In my organization, I am handling two type of AWS, China as well as AWS. I cannot disclose my like organization and all that name, but I am handling. So I have multiple data center. So on a high level, on a very high level, we have near about four data centers. One for the China one, that is a separate. One for Asia specific that cater this region like Indian region, Singapore, Japanese, these all things, some extent of Middle East as well. And one data center in the Europe that is specifically for the Europe and few clients from the Middle East. Those are near to the Europe. That data is also we are saving in that data center. And one data center we have in US. So in a same way, every cloud provider also design their data centers and the regions as well. Whether you will going to check Google, Azure, AWS, Rackspace, they all have designed their region a geographical data center in a such a way to comply with these compliances. If you any cloud provider, if you go and check the compliances page, you will get for the payment related, for the health related data, for the banking related data, for the security related data. Like we have a on a very high level, like AWS have three kind of accounts. One for the China specific, one for the rest of the world, and one for the US government only, where the US like the government thinks the military and security kind of thing. So those one. So that is not open account. We are good to wrap this one. And once you will get the syllabus, then you will be in a better position to like decide whether go for it or no. But keep in mind, it is near or more towards the SRE only. We will be keep ourselves in the SRE only. We will be not going to touch anything related to the other topics that is here like DevOps and platform cloud. So do not expect anything a deep down in the AWS Azure or GCP. We will be using in a way like what the SRE required in a that way. We are not going to touch anything for the CI/CD pipeline because that is not a part of SRE job. That is a part of DevOps engineer part. We are not going as a Swapnil having a little bit of expectation for the architecture and design. Architecture and designing is not again part of SRE. SRE is only responsible for the site reliability. In a layman means say site always need to be accessible by end user. If anything goes wrong and site is not working, then SRE job is go back, roll back on a previous version and keep it again up. Not for the fully business, but at least minimum businessable condition. So that's a SRE job. Okay. Okay. Thank you then. See you guys then.